What time is it? Moon time! Wake up, brothers and sisters of the world. It's another great day. My name's Mac. I'm walking along here, talking about what I'm thinking about. Today's kind of heavy. Some deep topics, specifically on divorce and on the ego non-attachments and on how we, me in particular, and how I imagine a lot of us get into really difficult cycles of blaming and pondering and thinking more than we should, way more than we should. That the mind is not our friend. The mind is an adversary in many ways because it's not the highest source of consciousness that we can access. It's not the most wise. That comes from the heart and the gut. And there's countless mystics and countless New Agers of various values, well, not values, but various, levels of real wisdom, not just love and light, woo. Will attest, there are different parts of the body, parts of your consciousness that do affect your mind. And the more significant be the heart, and that's really where you need to bring your focus. Robert Gilbert's video from yesterday that I put up is really incredible for that topic, because it's not me saying this. This is coming from around the world and in many religious traditions. So we all have to get used to this aspect of reality and integrate it and bring it into our existence and utilize it and allow our quality of life to be improved by getting outside of our fucking heads. Like, it sucks, man. As many of you know, as I know, God, getting stuck in the brain is such a pain in the ass. You can think and overanalyze and spin and it's terrible. It's terrible, and that's what the mind does. That is what the brain is designed to do. It is a computer. Don't be surprised when it just keeps computing and not giving you to some revelatory answer. It's going to come from a different place. It's going to come from a deeper revelation that resonates in a deeper part of your being that's represented by your body and your heart and your gut. And in my heart and in my gut, I know that Haley and I weren't going to make it, and that we'd gone as far as we could. It's still sad because there's mixed feelings there. She's a phenomenal person, beautiful woman, and a huge part of me will always deeply care about her, and I allow myself to get caught up in these over analytical loops about things and basically just beat the shit out of myself on these really negative ego trips. And it's a funny thing to think about. It's like an ego trip can be negative. Yeah, you can really over analyze and over blame yourself in a situation that you might not even be grounded in reality. You might be making the whole thing up, which I've done. And I encourage you not to do that. It's not a good way to spend your time. It's not a good way to spend your life. It's a waste. It's very difficult, and there's no reason for it. So be responsible, live with integrity, but don't allow your mind to torture yourself. If you know there's big changes for you in your life, then it's time to pray, and it's time to sink into that inner knowing. And saying prayer and inner knowing for some people really won't make sense, because they'll seem like different things, praying to this outside God being. But it's really, we're all interconnected. It's all one thing. So there's no one to pray to outside. It's an inner knowing, it's an inner feeling, it's an inner revelation. And that's where I suggest living, is in the balance, is in that center path, which is the Christ path. Doesn't just mean Jesus Christ, even though he was way cooler than the Bible could ever express. And cool is not even the right word, but I hope you get some of my heart in that message. But there is the Christ realm, which is a dimension of beings, of which Jesus was the prophet. He was the top guy, and he is the top guy. But also, no pride, no ego. I of myself do nothing. And that's where the healer community and a lot of these folks get so far off fucking track, is they're trying to like be this person. I'm born to do this. I have this gifting and I'm gonna be the world hero. Probably not. Probably not. That's a lot more brain and mind and ego than heart and soul and ability to impact people. My opinion. Christ said, I of myself do no thing. Nothing. It's not him. He was more than any of us can probably conceive in our minds, the embodiment of the all, the embodiment of that perfect source consciousness. And he could be a channel for it, and he could do some really, really powerful shit that we would probably like to, but we can't, because our pride gets in the way and our minds get in the way, and we start thinking and doing instead of loving and being. And in that loving state of beingness, we can tune in, we can hear, we can have those revelatory moments where we know something's got to change, or we know that there's something we got to do, and it's very important, and we got to act and we got to move, but only once we've had that moment of consideration, only once we've really reflected in our own hearts and minds to figure out what's really going on. And I highly suggest that we all do that. It's been a blessing for me because I can really torture myself, and I really get guilty consciences, and a lot of it comes back to getting my parents getting divorced, and me seeing them and me feeling like it was my fault, and I carry a lot of that energetic weight with me, trying to take on other people's burdens. Definitely try to take on, their burdens and take on that responsibility, which, in some ways, I guess it's a good thing. But be careful taking on other people's debts and karma and just their life, their problems. Sit with them, be present with someone. If someone needs you, fucking be there for them. Don't judge it. Don't think about other things. Pay fucking attention to what that person is saying and see how you can help them. Even if it's only just being there to let them say what they got to say, and then go from there and just be present in that moment. That's healing. All this trumped up shit about, healer this, healer that, meh. I'm not super impressed. Blah, blah, blah for a lot of it. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So, don't allow your positive or negative ego to run rampant, because they're both an incredible pain in the ass, and they're both going to do a lot of damage in your life if you allow them to. So control your emotions. Be aware of when you're in a negative emotional state, and develop mastery over it. Don't allow stresses or blames or powerful feelings to affect your entire vibration and to bring your entire body and your entire mind, your entire heart, and wrap you up in this terrible vortex that just sucks you to hell. Don't do that. At this point is where CBD and THC and medical cannabis is incredibly helpful, because it can deal with a ton of that biochemical contribution to your mood. When cortisol spikes, you're in fight or flight mode, and you are looking for dragons and tigers, and you're finding out where the threat is, and you're analyzing, and your brain is just cooking, absolutely cooking with gas, and you're going to burn out rapido so freaking fast you won't even believe it. Happened to me. It happened to me. I got burned. I burnt out really, really bad. And in a way I didn't think was fucking possible. Just didn't think that was possible. Through a lot of hard work and focus and diet, medical cannabis, I feel good. I feel really well. I feel whole. And I don't feel like I've lost my best friend. And I still feel like she is my best friend. Even though it's out loud, doesn't really feel right. It's that whole, I've never really liked that term, best friend. She's still extremely dear to me. And we're on good terms. We're friends. You know, we can talk, we can joke around, we can get through this life, somewhat together, not in all the ways we used to, of course, but we can still rely on each other, and that's huge. We're still part of the same tribe. I think that's one of the biggest things, is that we're all missing our tribes, and we've all got to get back to that. So, finding your tribe, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. So, I highly recommend you do that and reflect in your heart. And if you feel like there's something that's off, then you may need to change it or address it, and constantly improve, constantly fine-tune, constantly strive to be excellent, and to bring art into the world, and to bring life and love and joy and music into the fucking world, and shine your light into the darkness, and let it be an eternal laser that strikes forth forever, and nothing can impact. In the moment, ding, 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 you can get dinged up, you can get dirty, you can get bogged down a little, but let that eternal motor always be there, always knowing that this is going in a good direction, that there is a greater force than your mind guiding this thing. There's a far greater force than your heart or your soul. There's a massive, unbelievably wise and loving and beautiful spirit that's guiding us all. And we all need to tap into it. And the love that's available for us in that place is shocking. And the experience that we can have and the love that we can find for ourselves and for others is shocking. And I hope you all find that. I feel like I found it. And it's a day-to-day process. It's not over. I'm not enlightened. If you know me, you know that's surely true. No saint. I'm not special. It's not me. It's God through me. And God's an insufficient word too. But it's the Creator Spirit. It's the force of the Almighty. It's the I Am. Moses said, "What's your name?" He said, "I am the I Am." It's a big deal. It means you're never going to know me that closely, except through an experience. I'm just so much bigger and more awesome than you could imagine. So remember, there's something much bigger and more awesome that you can imagine. And take a deep breath. Love yourself. Have a good day. Peace.